Welcome, fans, to another exciting hour of Universal Independent Wrestling. We got a lot of wrestling for you in this hour and a lot of the big names of the UIW. On the card this week, you're going to see the bad man from the Badlands, Hangman Harley Watkins. Also, it's the killer hit Kirk Dredd. In tag team competition, it's the Lords of Darkness. And it's the outlaw of the UIW, Max Thrasher the Bounty Hunter, along with another friend of his, Sexy Steve Valentino. And in our big feature match this week, it's Mr. Bojangles squaring off against the War Pig and his manager, Sonny Steele. At this time, I'd like to give a special welcome to our special guest commentator, Craig Johnson. Let's go right to the ring.
All right, Dave the Wave here at ringside, along with a very special guest, Craig Johnson.
Well, it's good to be here, Dave.
Most of the fans probably know you from ESPN. We talked about the open door policy with wrestlers. I guess we also have the open door policy with announcers. Great to have you.
Well, it's great to be here. I'm going all over the country scouting the latest in wrestling talent. I wanted to see what was up here in the UIW,
well,
and they said,
a lot is happening. I'm glad you could make it. There's plenty of talent here to scout. In the ring right now, we have Hangman Harley Watkins on the outside going up against Mr. Bob Wisman, a local boy. And already, Hangman Harley Watkins, known for his dirty tactics, going to work using that ring pole to his advantage.
I guess never has a hometown been so accurate as the Badlands of South Dakota here.
He calls it home sweet home. Most people, maybe it's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. To him, it's home sweet home. As he has Mr. Wisman. Mr. Wisman from Middle River, Maryland, right down the road.
As a matter of fact, I've seen Bob Wisman wrestling down in Texas. He looks like he's having about as much success here against Harley Watkins. Oh, right down on top of the knee.
Crushing leg smash. Definitely has picked the spot and is beginning to work on it, that left knee.
And that's the success of all wrestlers. You pick that one spot and you just keep going at it.
Exactly, as he's doing right now, using the ropes to his advantage. He's got a out to break that. RPWO.
Speaking as a man who has bad knees, that past move hurt quite a bit just watching it.
So much cartilage around there. It's so delicate. It can be injured easily as he drops another elbow smash right to the cartilage area and goes right back to work with that leg lock. Hangman Harley Watkins. I didn't notice earlier, but he always carries a hangman's noose to ringside with him. That shows you the kind of person that he is.
And I worry about guys like that because sometimes they use that noose for a little bit more than show.
When the referee's not looking. Harley Watkins still going to work on the left knee of Mr. Wisman again, taking his legs out from, there you go. The Badlands tactics, I guess you could call it a choke, blatant choke right in the corner.
You don't suppose that Bob Wisman parked a little bit too close to Harley's motorcycle, do you?
That could have been it. That could have been it.
That's a big machine out back.
Huge. It's a hog. Now ripping and tearing at the eyes. Look, I think he forgot to take his gloves off, or maybe he did that on purpose.
Well, if Bob Wisman was wearing contacts, he can't see now.
No way. Hangman Harley Watkins has Bob Wisman tied up in the ropes. He's just sort of taunting him now, again, going right back to that knee. Bob Wisman trying to fight back, but it's all in vain. Going for a cover, 1, 2.
How did Wisman kick out?
I don't think he quite had all the weight on him that he wanted. Again, now he's dropping a leg on the knees. Kicked it, stomped it, banged it against the pole. How much more can it take?
Bob Wisman may have a few packs of ice waiting for him back in the back, courtesy of Harley Watkins with a stomp there.
Definitely. You know, Craig, I've seen Harley Watkins progress over the weeks. A pinfall there, didn't quite get it. Over the last several weeks, he has really been improving each week.
Well, if this match is any indication, he's got all the basics down and has the basics there by holding the middle rope.
Basics of cheating. The basics. The ref looked up.
Watkins.
Once again, going back to that knee, using the ropes to his advantage. He has him spread eagle now.
Uh-oh.
That was close.
Now, you've got to think that he's had about 5 minutes of punishment on that one knee. You've taken the man's mobility away from him. Why did you just pin the man?
You're right. It's time to pin them. It's time to end the match. But no, he wants to inflict punishment, as he's doing right now, taking Wisman back into the ropes. Irish whip, setting him up. Wisman ducks under the clothesline, comes back with a shoulder block, goes for a quick cover. One. Oh, no. 1 count only. Wisman's gotten a second wind, but the knee gave out. The knee gave out. That's it. Harley Watkins with the pinfall. Bob Wisman's knee gave right out from under him, but he's not finished. Still going to work on it. He wants to cripple this man.
Let's get the official decision.
Hangman Harley Watkins. Next Sunday, June 30th, 2 p.m., it's the Steel Town Showdown, Romp and Roll #1. Over 20 big matches with over 30 stars of the UIW. On that card, you're going to see the Clash of the Crazy Men as Cactus Jack takes on Morgus the Maniac. Also, it's the Showdown, a special 8-man tag team elimination match featuring Max Thrasher the Bounty Hunter, Axel Rotten, Sexy Steve Valentino, and King Kalua taking on the team-up, Wild Thing AJ Fritzoid, Tom Chippendale Brandy, the Golden Phoenix, and this man right here, Killer Hit Kirk Dredd.
That's right. At the Showdown, the Steel Town Showdown, in the elimination match. Every time somebody gets pinned, they go back to the locker room and we keep going. Max Thrasher, you're going to get pinned by the Golden Phoenix, and we'll see you later. Axel Rotten, the Wild Thing AJ Fritzoid, pin you. Bye-bye, fat boy. King Kalua, you're not too thin yourself. After Brandy pins you, you'll be gone. And Valentino, that leaves you and me. And what I got planned for you, boy, is not going to be pretty.
Universal Independent Wrestling.
And I've heard a lot about Killer Hit Kirk Dredd. I've not seen him in person, but I've heard a lot about him on the various radio shows around town and
sure,
the grapevine, so to speak.
And I'm also sure that you've heard about his vicious feud that he's had with Sexy Steve Valentino.
Heard a lot about it from Mr. Valentino.
Several weeks now. Each man has traded victories, and it's been an absolute war. But right now, Kerry Davis looks like he's biting.
Well, isn't that what a rude dog usually does?
Exactly. I guess. Good point.
He wore a shirt to the ring that said, "I've fallen and I can't get up." I wonder if Mrs. Fletcher is his aunt or something.
Well, that's his goal here this week, to put Kirk Dredd down. It's not going to be that easy of a task, as Kirk Dredd comes back with a hard shoulder block on Kerry.
Dredd, 237 pounds, pretty well built from Brooklyn. Clothesline there.
Hard to the esophagus area, goes for a cover. 1, 2, couldn't quite get it. Got the shoulder out. This feud with Sexy Steve Valentino, it's so much hate is built up between these two men. Steve Valentino claims to be God's gift to women, as Killer Hit Kirk Dredd comes off the second rope. Has Kerry down on the mat now.
Dredd has impressed me with his mobility in the ring.
He's quick, too. Irish whip now, power slam, caught him in midair, drove him down into the mat. 1, 2. Oh, that was close.
Joe DiCarlo was down there, had the proper count, but the Rude Dog was able to kick out of it.
Arguing with Joe there, but what the ref says goes, as the Killer Hit picks up Kerry. Going to try once again for something else. Irish whip, drove him, followed him right in with a knee, followed up by a bulldog. Nice combination there.
I guess you might call that a bull root dog? Okay, maybe not.
Killer Hit Kirk Dredd picking up Kerry Davis, who's barely conscious.
Oh!
He's going to have a handprint on his chest after that one, echoing throughout the building.
You can hear that one in the next area code.
Killer Hit once again with the Irish whip out of the corner, takes Kerry into the opposite turnbuckle. He's got Sexy Steve Valentino on his mind. I know he does. Going for a charging elbow drive. Kerry, I think the turnbuckle's the only thing holding him up at this point. Wait a minute, setting him up for something. He just picked him up and set him on the top rope.
A superplex?
Perhaps. goodness.
To the top rope.
This is dangerous. High-risk maneuver here. He's got him by the hair. The killer hit!
Oh!
That's the killer hit. His namesake right there. 2, 3, it's over.
Enough said.
Killer hit, Kirk Dredd. Incredible maneuver there. High risk. Let's get the official decision.
I believe our ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by pinfall, killer hit, Kirk Dredd.
Kirk Dredd, he's got sexy Steve Valentino on his mind.
Another match coming up now, pitting the Lords of Darkness, Pain and Agony, against Beach Boy Vinny Young and Hollywood Rick Starr.
Before that gets underway, there's nothing second-rate about them, the Lords of Darkness.
Now you'll have to help me out here. Which one's Pain and which one's Agony?
Craig, to tell you the truth, I have a hard time myself. Although pain and agony is exactly what they end up inflicting on their opponents, I know that. I believe that's Pain in the ring right now.
Going against Beach Boy Vinny Young. Obviously not quite ready for tanning season yet.
No. Still a little early for that, I guess. His partner, Hollywood Rick Starr, Beach Boy Vinny Young going right to work with rubbing Pain's eyes right across the rope. And now some tag team, looks like they've been practicing their double team distraction.
Well, they had a game plan going into this,
they
no
went
doubt
right
about
into
that.
They didn't waste any time as Beach Boy hit Vinny Young with a hard clothesline across the chest of Pain. Tags in his partner quickly, and that's what you have to do with a team like the Lords of Darkness. You either get them down early or you don't get them down at all.
Well, I've heard a lot about the Lords of Darkness, but it is obvious that their opponents want to make sure that they don't live up to the billing.
No. Hollywood Rick Starr with a hard slam on Pain. Taking him to the ropes, Irish whip. Caught him with another combination there, fist to the gut bulldog. Cover, foot's on the ropes, gonna have to break it.
Now that would have been a big upset, no doubt about that.
Least. Again, there we see the popular spot to work on, the left knee here today.
It's the spot of the night.
Yeah, Hollywood Rick Starr in control. Oh, telegraphed it by about 3 feet.
Here comes Agony.
Agony, I think. I hope I'm getting this right. Agony, quick to, leg dive takedown, right into a leg lock combination, into a chin lock.
Now, a lot of people think that this puts a lot of pressure on the knee, but it also puts it into the lower back.
Exactly. It's like the Lords of Darkness have a game plan of their own. Quick tag. These guys do some incredible maneuvers. Suicidal.
I've heard about death from above, but I have not seen it, so you'll have to alert me.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it's coming.
Nice suplex there by Pain.
Pain, I think. As he goes to, tags in his partner, here's that double team attack we were talking about. Double clothesline. Right to the neck of Hollywood Rick Starr. Body slam coming up. Trying to get psyched out. Agony in control. The head is made of, it must be made of concrete. I mean, he headbutts people like it's nothing.
Well, from Excedrin headache number 106 to severe chest pain on Hollywood Rick Starr.
Agony picking him up into a fireman's carry position. Oh, drops him right back down into a suplex. He's not finished. Picks him up by the hair. Irish whip looks like they could be, setting him up for another double team attack here.
You've got to count of 5.
To get out of the ring.
They've used about 4 of them.
Double elbow into a fist combination. Got the cover. Looks like feet are on the rope. Pain and Agony, the Lords of Darkness. Irish whip once again. Another hard clothesline to the esophagus area of Hollywood Rick Starr, followed by an elbow drop to that same area. Into a chin lock. Trying to get psyched out here.
Not exactly high mom there. In comes Agony. Impressive so far. They had their
Another
problems early.
tag.
Oh,
He was only out for about a second. Here's something setting him up here, holding him into a elbow into a suplex combination there. Nice double team maneuver.
Hollywood Rick is seeing stars about now. There's the tag in.
Once again, quick tags. I mean, I don't know what their tag ratio is exactly, but it's got to be
You know, I think
7, 8 a minute.
I think you're right. The head must be made of something other than just
Here we go,
what it usually
another
is.
double team effort here. A power slam onto Rick Starr, and a splash off the top rope by Payne. A knee right to the chest. It's gotta be it. Here it comes. This is the one, this is what you heard about, Craig. Death from above. Boom.
Oh, yes.
There it is.
Good night.
Your winners, the Lords of Darkness with Death from Above. Incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by pinfall, the Lords of Darkness.
Lords of Darkness, your winner. Back with more action in a minute.
Hey, UIW fans, here's your chance to write to your favorite UIW star. Just mail your letter, care of your favorite wrestler, to the address on your screen.
Craig Johnson along with Dave Wade. We've just from the War Pig and Sonny Seal. Two guys that think a lot of themselves, but here is God's gift to women.
Self-proclaimed God's gift to women. I'm not sure every young lady in the audience would agree with that, but Hellhound number 1, they flew this guy all the way in from Tokyo, and look, he's set and ready with a karate stance, and surprising Sexy Steve there. We seen Hellhound number 1 several weeks back, along with his partner, Hellhound number 2, uses the martial arts. Incredible.
The Hellhound,
Big man.
very big, and
Strong.
it seems like Sexy Steve Valentino just doesn't quite know how to approach the Hellhound.
He's not quite sure about this unorthodox martial arts style. How do you approach a man like that with a mask? You can't even see his eyes or his, I don't even think you can see his mouth.
Well,
That must be quite a sight out there. As,
people who are trained in the Orient and who are from the Orient are very mysterious anyway.
There's nothing mysterious about that chop. Laid it right in on the chest of Sexy Steve. He's calling for a timeout.
Winter wrestler is going to learn that there's no timeout in wrestling.
How did he pull hair on a chop? I don't know. I guess they try to bide for whatever time they can get, especially after a stinging maneuver hand to your chest like that. Hellhound number 1 looks like he's got fangs coming out of his mask.
It's
From
a colorful
Tokyo,
mask.
Japan. Nice. Locking up into an arm drag. Sexy Steve right back into a hip toss. He's charging right into a slam. He got caught 3 times in a row, and I think that was enough.
He knows the martial arts, but now the Hellhound proving that he knows his wrestling,
Exactly.
too. Of course, Japanese wrestling is incredible. I don't know how much you get to see of
It's
it.
a lot
of people
quicker,
trade tapes on
high
it.
flying,
Oh, it's incredible.
Lucky to be getting to see some of that today. It's part of the one of the great things about the UIW, the open door policy. Wrestlers from anywhere in the world can compete here, as both men are tied up in the corner now. Sexy Steve taking advantage of it, driving his shoulder right into the chest of Hellhound number 1. Irish whip reversal. Hellhound number 1 takes Steve in, catches him in another heel throw. He didn't wait that time, charged right in with some karate kicks. Ooh.
Oh!
Right to the kidney area. Irish whip once again sends him in, catches him in, kick, setting him up perhaps. Bulldog DDT.
Yes, got him.
He's been watching some American wrestling. Sexy Steve, I don't know if he, his body just sort of got up for a second there, but he fell right back down. Covered by Hellhound number 1. Almost a pinfall, 2 count only. Sexy Steve Valentino is in trouble.
Sexy Steve Valentino has been worried so much about Kirk Dredd. Maybe he just overlooked an opponent like the Hellhound. Oh, first mistake we've seen by the Hellhound is Sexy Steve Valentino coming back with some moves of his own. Going for the suplex.
Snap suplex.
Does he call that a sexy snapper?
I guess so. Cover. Yeah, almost forgot about Killer hit Kirk Dredd for a second. It's got to be on the mind of Sexy Steve. We saw him earlier in the show. Their styles, they complement each other in a way. So when they finally do meet, once again, and it's going to happen, I'm sure.
I want to know how this man claims to be God's gift to women when he's telling a nice-looking young lady in the second row to shut up. Now,
how does he expect to get any dates like that?
Hellhound trying to work.
Oh, I hope Cat's Insurance has a dental policy. Looks like he dropped his jaw right down onto the head. Onto the head of Hellhound. Hellhound in control once again, able to get his win back. Irish whip. Oh, looks like a flying forearm karate type. Down for the cover. 2 count only.
Joe DiCarlo with the 2 count there, and the Hellhound
in control.
Oh, rake of the eyes.
That's how you turn the tables right there. Nailed him right in the chin with a high drop kick. Going for the cover, Sexy Steve on top. Hooked the leg, but couldn't quite get him. Picking Hellhound up.
Hellhound's having a little bit of trouble keeping that mask on.
Really? I mean, I wonder if it gets pulled in front of his eyes, he could lose some of his peripheral vision.
A close-up look, ladies, at Sexy Steve Valentino.
Irish whip into the corner. Charges in. Missed by inches.
Best defense is not to be there, and the Hellhound learned it there. The big elbow drop.
Quick to come back with some offense. Hellhound number 1. Sort of pondering what he's going to do next. A rake with the boost right across the eyes.
That's one way to take some of the look quotient away.
He may be a great scientific wrestler from Japan, but he also knows how to fight dirty, as we saw there. Snapmare into a reverse chin lock, and at the same time he's driving that knee into the upper back of Sexy Steve Valentino. Trying to take some of the life out of him, Hellhound number 1, while taking a breather of his own.
I'm quite impressed, Dave, by this Hellhound, but once again, the shortcut. One more time
cheap way out,
Steve
but it
Valentino.
works. It works. That's
cheap
the thing
way
about
out, but very appropriate for Sexy Steve Valentino.
Yeah. Sexy Steve taking advantage of the groggy state of Hellhound number 1. Picking him up into a neck breaker right across the shoulder.
Well, that could do it.
Drops the fist. Looks like
he's going to go for the cover. He thinks that's
the crowd. He should have gone for the cover earlier. 2 count only. He's so cocky, so I guess he can't help it. It's just his personality. He's got to gloat as he drops a series of elbows onto Hellhound number 1.
Oh, he says he wants one more.
Now, to me, that's dumb.
Dedicated to the ladies, he said? Oh!
He called it for everyone to hear, and I think Hellhound number 1 heard it as well.
The Hellhound.
Sexy Steve begging for timeout. Too late now. You had your chances. Going to work with some karate chops. Hellhound number 1 has Sexy Steve reeling into the corner, charges in hard, clothesline.
Nowhere to go.
Except down.
Usually you have a little bit of cushion or you go straight down to the mat, but that one, double impact.
All the impact. Leg drop into a cover, 2 count only.
Joe DiCarlo, a very good referee. I've only seen him a couple times, but
he's been on the money so far.
There's the Hellhound, gets him into the corner, gonna try to send him the other way. Sexy
nice
Steve,
shot there. Telegraphed it. Ooh. He hit the turnbuckle so hard he flipped in midair. Steve following right up with some kicks to the head. The Sexy One in control once again. This has just been back and forth, Craig. Look, there once again. He's trying to get it, show himself off to the ladies.
Somebody has to tell Sexy Steve Valentino that voguing went out months ago.
Exactly. Sexy Steve picks up Hellhound number 1. Irish whip. Went for a clothesline. Hellhound number 1 ducked under into a flying cross body block. Down for the count. 2 count only. Steve slithered his way. Oh!
Thrust kick.
Nailed him right in the throat. That's it.
What a three.
The pinfall.
The Hellhound
with the Kirk Dredd. It's 2 hit Kirk Dredd. Oh no!
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner. He came to the ring as Hellhound number 1.
I gotta talk
Killer
to
hit,
her.
Kurt Dredd.
Steve Valentino just has no idea what the heck happened. We're going to find out more about this. Sexy Steve Valentino, pretty upset. Let's hear these words.
Hey, you, sitting there watching this pro wrestling show, did you ever wonder how guys like Kirk Dredd, the War Pig, Axel Rotten, and the other UIW stars got into wrestling? Here's your answer. They attended the Pro Wrestling Training Center in Hanover, Pennsylvania. This facility can make you the next UIW star. Call the owner, Phil Livelsberger, at 717-633-9542 and get started in your new exciting career. Stop watching and be watched. Join the Pro Wrestling Training Center now.
Give me that microphone, Dave. Hey, listen up. Valentino, what happened to you, huh? Halloween came a little bit early this year, didn't it? That's right. The killer hit Kirk Dredd under that mask. You weren't wrestling the Hellhound, but the Hellhounds are my friends. Loaned me their mask, gave me the match. You wouldn't give me a match. You wouldn't give me the rematch. So what happens? I came out under the hood, pretended to be the Hellhound, even learned a little bit of karate just so I could pin you. 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. How do you like that?
Next Sunday, June 30th, 2 p.m., it's the Steel Town Showdown, Romp and Roll #1. Over 20 big matches with over 30 stars of the UIW. On that card, you're going to see the Clash of the Crazy Men as Cactus Jack takes on Morgus the Maniac. Also, it's the Showdown, a special 8-man tag team elimination match featuring Max Thrasher the Bounty Hunter, Axel Rotten, Sexy Steve Valentino, and King Kalua taking on the team-up, Wild Thing AJ Fritzoid, Tom Chippendale Brandy, the Golden Phoenix, and this man right here, Killer Hit Kirk Dredd.
That's right. At the Showdown, the Steel Town Showdown, in the elimination match. Every time somebody gets pinned, they go back to the locker room and we keep going. Max Thrasher, you're going to get pinned by the Golden Phoenix, and we'll see you later. Axel Rotten, the Wild Thing AJ Fritzoid, pin you. Bye-bye, fat boy. King Kalua, you're not too thin yourself. After Brandy pins you, you'll be gone. And Valentino, that leaves you and me. And what I got planned for you, boy, is not going to be pretty.
Right now in the ring, Max Thrasher, the Bounty Hunter, against the Black Ranger. Max, from a very interesting place, I understand.
The Paradise Knife and Gun Club in the Bronx, New York. Not the kind of place you want to be around after dark or even during the day, for that matter.
True.
Probably. Last time I was in the Bronx, I lost 4 hubcaps. Right now, Max Thrasher, this guy is just... him and I don't get along. We've had some run-ins in the past couple weeks. He's come up to the commentary table, and he just picks on me for some reason. I don't know what his problem is.
Well, it seems like a lot of the guys from the Bronx have that kind of attitude.
But
and especially
why me?
with well, because Max Thrasher's a big guy, and you're not exactly the biggest guy in the world. I like you a lot, but you're not exactly the biggest guy in the world.
He yells at me, throws things. Last time he spit water over my new slabs. He just... Anyway, I'll give him one thing. I may not get along with him too well, but this guy is tough. As you can see right now, just going to work on the Black Ranger. He could have had a pinfall, probably. He just lifted him up.
You need to be tough when you're from the Bronx. I discovered that when I went up to see a Yankee game up there.
Goodness.
Supposedly it's Baseball parks are usually in nice neighborhoods.
Usually.
Well, maybe not in the Bronx. Nice suplex there by the bounty hunter.
Max Thrasher, where's Kevin the Truth Casey?
Well, I guess the UIW's newest director of misinformation is so enamored with his man King Kalua that he thought that Max Thrasher could take care of business himself.
I guess so.
It's over the top rope.
Oh, come on. See, he does this every match. He takes it outside the ring. It's totally unnecessary. He could have probably pinned this young guy a long time ago, but no, he wants to cripple him. And he's gonna slam. Oh, he just dropped him right on the concrete floor.
Now there are no pads in this auditorium.
No pads for the UIW. As I don't know if the Black Ranger's going to get back up, but he's proud of himself. It's hard for me to be unbiased here, I guess.
He says he's the UIW champion.
Well, that tournament will be coming up in the weeks to come, and Max Thrasher will definitely be one of the top seeds for that UIW title as he continues to go to work on the Black Ranger.
But even if he does get the title, will he be able to hold on to it? Because he looks like he'd like to just get a victory. He doesn't care about this being disqualified or whatever it is.
Often risk disqualification. I guess he doesn't care, as he just drove the Black Ranger's face right into the canvas. Look, he could finish it if he wanted, but he enjoys this.
Thrasher trying to turn this man into the Black and Blue Ranger. Pats him on the back and
DDT maneuver, drove his head down into the mat, crunching those vertebrae together.
And he still says that's not enough.
He's having a good time. I tell you though, he's not gonna have such a good time when it comes down to him and the Golden Phoenix. Last week, if you recall, Kevin Casey throwing, there it is, the timber. He calls it the timber, and it usually means a pinfall. Well, he may not
Ladies and
have
gentlemen,
such
your winner, Max Thrasher, the Bounty Hunter.
He may not have such an easy time with the Golden Phoenix. We'll have to wait and see.
Wrestling fans, do you want to see live UIW action in your hometown? Just write to the address on your screen, care of Events Coordinator.
You say the fans call him Sonny Steele?
Sonny's, yeah.
I heard a hiss. I just wasn't sure what it was. The
That'll
War
work.
Pig, 378
This guy's huge.
pounds. But I'll tell you something, Bo Jangles is well built. 237 pounds,
He's
not
solid.
much body fat on that.
The War Pig hailing not too far from Max Thrasher. The War Pig coming out of another tough part of New York City, Hell's Kitchen.
I had a friend who was a dishwasher there once. It's an old story. Won't get into it here because we've got good action.
Another part of town where you have to be tough to survive. As two men feeling each other out right now, Mr. Bojangles.
And New Orleans is a pretty nice place, but there's some places in New Orleans tough to survive.
Never been
and I'm
there.
sure that Mr. Bojangles has gone through there a few times.
Interesting tactic when tried to take the balance right out from under the War Pig. That's what you got to do with a man that big. Heck, he's practically 100 pounds heavier or more. Arm drag, Mr. Bojangles. That takes a lot of strength to take a man that size down. War Pig going out to consultate.
There's that briefcase.
That briefcase.
Now,
I want to know what's in it.
You had told me that he comes out with this briefcase. I know Sonny Steele claims to be a very astute businessman and the manager of champions, but
why does he have to bring it to ringside and set it up on the ring apron? I mean, can't he leave it in the dressing room? Does he expect to get a phone call or something? Write checks out at ringside? I don't know.
It's strange that the War Pig, a real tough customer, has a manager like Sonny Steele who seems like he spent most of his time on the beach not really worried about business, but I guess this is his insurance policy. Look at that beautiful leg sweep by Bojangles.
What a way to take, that's what you have to do with a man that size, take the legs right out from under him. Still too early, I think, for a pinfall. Didn't quite take enough out of the War Pig yet, going right to an arm bar.
Although, from what I've seen in terms of experience, this seems to be an even match, but you gotta give the advantage to the War Pig on weight alone.
The size, the height also. Warpig looks like he was cocking a fist there in his right hand as Mr. Bojangles goes to work ringing that left arm.
Bojangles with a style much reminiscent of the great Rocky Johnson. You remember him from a few years ago.
Wonder if he can throw a drop kick like Rocky.
Oh.
Wrist lock combination now. Mr. Bojangles has pretty much had control for most of this match. Warpig, better watch those shoulders. Working on that left arm. Earlier we saw the left knee was the spot. Now it seems to be the left arm. There you see, it looks like he may have been watching too many Three Stooges cartoons. He stuck a thumb right in the eye there. Using it to his advantage, Warpig, Irish whip. Just sort of, oh, you see? He stuck out the arm that Bojangles had been twisting and hurt himself.
Well, the Warpig may be vulnerable here.
Could be that left arm, could be his weak point as he drops the fist with the right arm.
Now that was over 300 pounds of pressure right to the top of the head.
Right into your forehead, I can't imagine. But didn't take enough out of Mr. Bojangles. He's still wiggling around on the mat there.
Sonny Steele and Pee Wee Yo having their differences of opinion.
He's a distraction, that's all he is. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's what he does best at ringside, is distracts so his man can take the advantage.
Well, I think the Warpig is just stalking his prey now. Mr. Bojangles has put up a valiant fight here, but it looks like the Warpig may sense victory.
Irish whip catches him into a power slam.
Oh.
Drives him down. Whoa.
How did Mr. Bojangles get up from that?
Slid that arm, and look, now the Warpig arguing with Pee Wee Yo. That's money out of your pocket, Warpig. You do not touch the referee. You're risking disqualification as well. Going right back to work. There's that 378-pound elbow drop right to the sternum. To Bojangles, I don't know if he's still conscious. We'll find out here. Oh,
conscious enough to get,
enough presence of mind to get that foot on the rope. If he wasn't within reach, I think that would have been it. It's like Bojangles trying to get a second win now as Warpig continues with Irish. He'll put his head down, but Bojangles caught him with a kick. Both men groggy now.
If he didn't have his second win before, he's getting it now. Mr. Bojangles now has the Warpig down on the mat, and if you're going to try to take care of one of the big men, you got to keep him down on the mat. That's exactly what Mr. Bojangles is doing
him
here.
Up now, driving his head. Looks like he's going to play 4 corners here. That's 3, and that makes 4. Drove his head right down, falls back, splash on top. 1, 2. Whoa, that was close.
Although he rounded the bases, couldn't quite get the home run there.
Almost. Foul tip. As he drops a knee to the throat area. 2 count again. He's just so massive. How can you cover someone like that?
Warpig, with his dimensions, for Bojangles to cover him, he practically has to be on the tip of his fingers and the tip of his toes just because of all the massive size. Oh, there he is.
Bandana and all. As Mr. Bojangles twists and turns and drops an elbow to the head of the Warpig, trying to wear the big man down. That's all you can do, is just keep him down on the mat and pound away.
Taking away some of his equilibrium there by getting him on the just about where the inner ear is.
Temple area, yes.
That's how you get rid of the balance of a big man like this. Into the ropes. And a backdrop.
That's 378 pounds and followed up by a leg drop. Cover. 2.
Couldn't quite keep the big man down.
It's just too massive. Wait, I think he might have thought he won there for a second. Going right back to that head and neck area. Good strategy by Mr. Bojangles. Ooh, look at the expression on that face.
An up-close look at the action from our UIW crew.
Purple lips and all. The Warpig in a compromising position here. The neck is not meant to be twisted that way.
I wonder if he consulted Tammy Faye Baker on his makeup.
Yeah, the tear effect there.
Count of 2.
Slid the shoulder up once again.
Mr. Bojangles. Oh, now he's saying, I've had enough of this. Time to take care of business my way.
Time to play dirty as he argues with Pee-wee and chokes at the same time. Not sure Pee-wee caught on. Sonny Steele kind of surprised there. That's something that he would have done.
Come on, Porky. That's what Mr. Bojangles had to say in his version of color commentary. But I think that just did nothing but get the War Pig upset.
Nailed him hard. Vicious is the only adjective I know how to describe that clothesline. Bojangles just took the wind right out of him. War Pig now, oh, come on.
Oh, head first.
Throwing his head. And look at that. Pee-wee's back is turning. Sonny Steele was out there with cheap shots. I mean, now he just helped him back into the ring, so to speak.
I know you weren't able to see it because we didn't have a camera right on that side, but he came down and landed right on top of his head.
I still think he's in the middle of next week, but had the presence of mind to reverse the Irish whip into a clothesline. Bojangles has just about thrown everything at the War Pig except the kitchen sink. Backs him into the corner.
How can you move a mass like that?
Whoa! Oh! Pee-wee got hit! Pee-wee! Pee-wee got hit by Mr. Bojangles. It was accidental, I believe. War Pig threw him in.
Oh!
There's that briefcase you were talking about. What is...
Gonna hit a home run!
Oh! He hit the War Pig! Home run! 1, 2, 3! What an upset!
Mr. Bojangles with a win! Oh my!
Bojangles, Sonny Steele! Let's get the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Mr. Bojangles.
Backfiring the briefcase, nailed his own man. There you see. War Pig held him up.
While they're arguing about this, maybe a little bit of dissension among the ranks. Dave, I gotta tell you, it was a pleasure being here. Would you mind if I came back next week?
Thank you, Greg. And yes, please come back. This is great as the action continues now. War Pig not too happy about his loss to Mr. Bojangles, and now he's letting him know. We're gonna hold it here as long as we can. He is mad. I can't say that word.
And he's also mad at his manager.
Sonny Steele says, what did I do? You hit him with a briefcase. That's what you did.
We'll wrap it up.
That's it, fans, for another exciting hour of Universal Independent Wrestling. Two big events on the show this week. Number one, Mr. Bojangles defeated the War Pig when War Pig's manager, Sonny Steele, interfered and it backfired on him. Also, it was Hellhound number one defeating Sexy Steve Valentino, only to reveal, under the mask, Killer hit Kirk Dredd. I think there's going to be a lot of repercussions down the line on that match. Next week, it's another action-packed hour for you as we have Rasta the Voodoo Man, the Jamaican Monster, will be here. Also, it's Agony of the Lords of Darkness in singles competition. Dixie Devastation will be here next week as both members square off in singles competition. And in the big main event, everybody's talking about, everybody's waiting to see, it's the Golden Phoenix facing off against Max Thrasher the Bounty Hunter. And next week, this man will join us in the ring, Axel Rotten.
That's right, Edzon. It's Axel Rotten coming to you next week, live and in living color on Universal Independent Wrestling. Things are heating up right here in the UIW. The Kirk Dredd incident. Max Thrasher against the Golden Phoenix next week, along with Axel Rotten revealing the new weapon. As if the British bomb were not enough. Tune in next week to see it. Do you know what it is?
No.
It's the London Blitz, and my helpless opponent, whoever he may be, will be the sure demise of 1, 2, 3. And that's next week on the UIW.
Next Sunday, June 30th, 2 p.m., it's the Steel Town Showdown, Romp and Roll #1. Over 20 big matches with over 30 stars of the UIW. On that card, you're going to see the Clash of the Crazy Men as Cactus Jack takes on Morgus the Maniac. Also, it's the Showdown, a special 8-man tag team elimination match featuring Max Thrasher the Bounty Hunter, Axel Rotten, Sexy Steve Valentino, and King Kalua taking on the team-up, Wild Thing AJ Fritzoid, Tom Chippendale Brandy, the Golden Phoenix, and this man right here, Killer Hit Kirk Dredd.
That's right. At the showdown, the Steel Town Showdown, in the elimination match. Every time somebody gets pinned, they go back to the locker room and we keep going. Max Thrasher, you're going to get pinned by the Golden Phoenix, and we'll see you later. Axel Rotten, the Wild Thing AJ Fritzoid, pin you. Bye-bye, fat boy. King Kalua, you're not too thin yourself. After Brandy pins you, you'll be gone. And Valentino, that leaves you and me. And what I got planned for you, boy, is not gonna be pretty.
Hey, UIW fans, here's your chance to write to your favorite UIW star. Just mail your letter, care of your favorite wrestler, to the address on your screen.
This is the Golden Phoenix, and I'd just like to remind all you kids out there, just say no to drugs. Drugs are for losers. Be a winner. Just say no.
Portions of this program have been brought to you by Katz Insurance.